Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Family Fudge. I'm Jennifer, and in today's video I have a bunch of breakfast ideas to share with you. Lately I've been seeing so many interesting looking breakfast hack ideas on TikTok and on Instagram. The only problem is sometimes the food hacks you see online don't really work in real life. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite hacks that actually work. Some of them might be a little bit unusual, but they are definitely fun. They are easy to make, and I'll show you how I put my own twist on each of these recipes. Okay guys, I'm kicking things off with a super fun breakfast banana split. Now, yes, banana splits are normally a dessert, but let me show you how I turn it into breakfast. Of course, I'm going to start with a nice ripe banana, not mushy, but not too green either. I'm going to split that down the middle and then get these pieces into my banana split bowl. Next comes the yogurt. And you guys, you can use whatever kind of yogurt you prefer in any flavor you prefer. I'm gonna go the more traditional route and add some vanilla Greek yogurt in here. Then after that, it's time for the many toppings. Now, traditionally, I'm pretty sure that a banana split includes strawberries. Then on the other end, I'm also adding some pineapple. Then right in the center here, I do want to go ahead and add something that is chocolate. And since this is for breakfast, I thought some chocolate granola would be perfect. Now to finish this off, I just need 3 more things. A little bit of whipped cream, just a few cherries, and a light sprinkling of sprinkles. Next up, breakfast pigs in a blanket. First, I'm going to pop these bad boys open. And you guys, these are just the regular Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. And for now, I'm just going to set the little icing cup that comes with them on the side. Now, if you make these, make sure you're using the regular cinnamon rolls. I don't think these would work really well with the jumbo oversized cinnamon rolls or the specialty flavored ones either. Now, I'm going to flatten out each little cinnamon roll so that it's just one nice round piece. And just because I want these to look pretty, I'm going to go ahead and place them cinnamon side down. Now here comes the unusual part. Normally, if you're making pigs in a blanket, you'd be using some kind of hot dog. But since we're talking about breakfast hacks today, of course, I'm using some breakfast sausage links instead. To make this quick and easy, I'm using the fully cooked sausage. And because I have a thing against grease, I'm using turkey sausage. But if you make these yourself, you go ahead and use whatever sausage makes your heart happy. Now it's time to wrap the cinnamon roll dough around each little sausage. And to really make sure that the dough doesn't fall off, I'm going to give each and every one a little roll around. Now that these pigs are in their blankets, they are looking good and they're ready for the oven. I'm going to cook these at 350 for about 15 minutes or so, or until the dough is no longer doughy. You're gonna wanna serve these breakfast pigs in a blanket, nice and hot. Maybe dip them in a little maple syrup, or if you're feeling extra, and you know I am, you can go ahead and drizzle them with the icing that came with the cinnamon rolls. Okay guys, next up I'm making some overnight oats that hopefully taste like a dessert. Now I don't know about you guys, but I love the flavors of strawberry shortcake. I recently saw on TikTok a girl make strawberry shortcake flavored overnight oats. So I definitely want to give that a try, but I'm going to make it my way. I'm going to start with 4 small glass jars. Of course, you use whatever container you like. I just like these smaller ones because I am making these for my kids. And to these, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons of old-fashioned rolled oats. Next to this, I'm going to go ahead and add some milk. Now, I really like to use oat milk in this. You could also use almond milk or regular cow milk. That works too. And I'm just putting enough here so it totally covers the oats. Now, my kids will absolutely not eat oatmeal if there isn't at least some sweetness in it. So I'm going to go ahead and drizzle just a little bit of pure maple syrup in here as as well. If you don't have that, you could also use honey or just regular sugar. Now to give this more of a cake-like flavor, I'm going to be adding in 2 different extracts, both almond and vanilla. I think this is the perfect combination whenever you want to make something taste like cake. And you guys, I'm just adding a few drops of each, not very much at all. Do not overdo this part. Now, the girl on TikTok used some sugar-free cheesecake pudding in her recipe, but I couldn't find that at my store. So instead, I'm gonna go ahead and use some strawberry cheesecake yogurt. And this is actually a high protein, non-fat yogurt. And I'm just going to be adding in a couple of tablespoons of this because I definitely want to have enough room for the fresh strawberries. And I'm literally gonna fit as many pieces of strawberries in each of these as I can. So now all you have to do for overnight oats is go ahead and pop your lid on, get it in the fridge, and then in the morning, you can either heat this up in the microwave and eat it hot, or what we like to do is just shake it up, dump it into a bowl, mix it up, and eat it cold. And you guys, if you wanna make this even better, I definitely recommend adding just a little bit of whipped cream to the top because I don't know about you, but strawberry shortcake in my house includes some kind of whipped cream, so I really like to add that on top of these. Next up, I'm going to be making a delicious breakfast braid. That's right, you guys, this is not the kind of braid that you put in your hair. This is the kind that you want to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. You can use this method in so many different ways. Let me show you how easy and delicious this one is. For this, I'm going to start with about 5 to 6 eggs. You're going to want to go ahead and scramble those up. Definitely season them with some salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to prepare my dough. And since I want this to be easy, I'm using the store-bought crescent dough sheet. Now, I really like the crescent dough sheets instead of the triangles because this is one big sheet. I don't have to pinch all the pieces together. Now, I do want to go ahead and flour this a bit, roll it out, trim up the edges, so I'm left with a nice big rectangle. Now, when I'm building this breakfast braid, I imagine my dough in 3 parts. And all of the filling that I'm going to use has to stay in just the center part, down the middle. But before I get to the filling, I do want to go ahead and cut each side. Now, I try my best to keep these as even as possible, but they usually don't end up perfect, but that's not a big deal. You can still make this work. So now down the center, I'm going to go ahead and add the scrambled eggs. I did end up using 6 eggs total, but my eggs were kind of small. And this is where you can really customize this recipe. You can add any veggies in here that you want, any kind of breakfast meat like bacon or ham or sausage. Today I'm using crumbles of turkey sausage. This is fully cooked, so again, quick and easy. And then of course, I'm a huge fan of cheese, so I definitely want to sprinkle a good amount of cheese on here as well. And then I have a nice big green onion plant in my backyard, so I'm gonna go ahead and add just a few pieces of green onion to this, but if you don't like green onion, you can leave it out. Okay guys, now here comes the braiding part, and it's actually really easy. I just start at one of the ends, I pull the edge of the dough up and over, and for the first 2 little strips on either side, I do like to go ahead and fold those down. That way they're kind of trapped inside the braid and it makes it nice and secure. So now I'm just bringing up one piece from one side, stretching it to the other side. Then I repeat this process until I'm almost at the end. When I'm almost at the end, I do want to go ahead and stretch the edge of the dough up and over just like I did with my first edge. And I want to tuck in the first strips on either side again as well. Now at this point, I usually try to squash this down a little bit and straighten it as best I can. I just want to make sure that all of this dough is nice and secure. And now comes the extra part. Now you can totally just bake this just as it is, but I really like to add an egg wash to the top of this because number 1, it's going to make the dough nice and golden brown. And then I usually like to sprinkle something on top of here as well. Sometimes I'll just use some shredded cheese, or some dried herbs. But for this breakfast braid, I really like to use some of the everything but the bagel seasoning. This one actually has a cheese flavor added in, so it's extra delicious. Then I just pop this into my oven at 350 for about 16 to 18 minutes. This does take a little bit longer. You definitely want to make sure that you get it nice and golden brown, and you want to cook it long enough so that the dough is no longer doughy. And you guys, would you look at this? It literally smells so good in here, especially since I added that seasoning to the top. There's a little bit of a garlicky bread smell, and I really like to serve this nice and hot. I'll usually cut it into smaller pieces for my kids, and they all really enjoy this with a little bit of ketchup to dip it in. Now, when it comes to breakfast hacks, I'm sure you've all seen the breakfast sandwich hack. In fact, I actually tried it in a video a few weeks ago. Well, around that same time, I was also seeing people make a breakfast burrito version, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a quesadilla version today. So I'm gonna start by putting a little bit of butter in my pan, which is obviously a little too hot. Then to this pan, I'm going to add in 2 scrambled eggs. If you're feeling extra hungry, you can definitely go for 3 eggs. I'm going to very quickly add a little bit of salt and pepper. Then I need to add my tortilla directly on the eggs before they're done cooking, because I really want these eggs to stick to the tortilla. Now I'm going to keep this here for a little bit, and I'll kind of know when to flip it by how it's looking on the edges. If the eggs are looking pretty much done, then I know I can go ahead and flip it over. Now at this point, you can add whatever fillings you like. I'm going to, of course, add in some cheese, followed by some bacon. And then, because I like things a little bit spicy, I'm also going to add just a tiny bit of this Hatch green chili salsa. Now you guys, if I had some avocado, I would definitely be adding that in here as well, but today I don't have any, so I'm gonna go with this. So now I'm just going to keep this here because I want to give the cheese plenty of time to melt, and I want the bottom of the tortilla to get nice and crispy and golden brown. And here's a trick, you guys. To help the cheese on the top melt a little bit faster, you can just put a lid on it. So now this is looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and try to flip this over as best I can, and I'm going to go ahead and press this down a bit. You really have to show this quesadilla who's boss, and I really think that pressing it down like this is going to help keep our filling inside. Now I'm just going to use my pizza cutter to cut it up, and then it's time to dig in. Next, I'm going to be making some blueberry banana biscuit waffles. And you guys, this is a really quick and easy one. So let's say you're in a hurry in the morning and you really want to have waffles, but all you have is a can of biscuits. Well, if you get the Grand's flaky biscuits, you just open them up, then take each individual biscuit and pull it in half. Because this is the flaky layer kind, this is really easy to do. Then I just stick these in my waffle iron. With my particular waffle iron, these are going to take about 3 to 4 minutes. But you guys, let me know in the comments down below if you've ever made any kind of food in your waffle iron other than waffles. I've seen some people cook hash browns in waffle irons. I've seen grilled cheese in waffle irons, eggs, all kinds of different things. And you know, the great thing about using the biscuit dough for these waffles is that they're not overly sweet. So once these are done, I'm going to go ahead and remove them from my waffle iron. I'm going to add just a touch of butter. Instead of regular syrup, I'm adding blueberry syrup. This stuff is seriously so good. I'll add a few fresh blueberries on top, followed by a few slices of fresh banana. Super quick, super easy, and super delicious. And just as an FYI, you can also cook cinnamon roll dough in your waffle iron too, and that is really good. This next breakfast hack is inspired by fluffy Japanese style pancakes. And I have to say, I'm pretty bummed that not one single time when I actually lived in Japan did I ever see or get to try pancakes like these. Normally when you're making pancakes, you gotta make them one at a time or a couple at a time, and you flip them over and yada yada. But in this hack, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up a big batch of pancake batter. To keep this really simple, I'm just using the boxed kind where you just have to add water. And then instead of cooking this on a skillet, I'm gonna be cooking it in a rice cooker. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this really well so nothing will stick. Then I'm going to pour all of this batter right in here and just cook it on the rice setting. Now this giant pancake will probably take anywhere between 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on your rice cooker. Okay, time to see if this actually works. So far, this is looking really good and it smells divine. Now, just like I saw on TikTok, I'm going to finish this off with a little pat of butter and some glitter syrup. Now, this looks pretty cool, but I need my official taste testers to give this a try. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I hope to see you in my next video.